Okay, hello everybody. Apologize again for our tardiness. We are wrapping up an issue in our closed session of superintendent's evaluation, so hopefully we won't be late again. But welcome to our regular meeting. We are here at TCEC. It is 6:30. Appreciate your patience. If everybody could stand up for the pledge of allegiance, that would be great.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the June 12th, 2024 meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, in recognition of the public, the only thing on the list today is public comment. And as far as I know, nobody has signed up to make a public comment this evening, but if anybody here would like to, floor is yours. Going once, going twice. No takers. Okay. Next on the list is board committee reports. Does anybody have a report this evening? I have a letter from the Maine Legal Services Association. Is this a committee report? Please.
Yep.
Oh, that's like the list. Thank you. I saw that. Okay. Next on the list is new business, and I have a letter from the Maine Legal Services Association, which is appointing Dr. Horsey as our director and our reappointment of Sarah Jones as our alternate director. Want to add anything to that? Nope. Okay. You both are aware of this? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. And then next on the list is our appointment of trustee of ESMAC Health Insurance with Dr. P.
Yep, just again transferring this appointment of trustee from, it was Dr. Duncan, now we're moving into Dr. Horsey as ESMAC Health Insurance Alliance, with backup being Ms. Jones. Alternate.
Thank you very much, and you're aware of that as well. Okay, thank you so much for your work. Next, we are moving along to unfinished business, starting with the management of sports-related concussions policy 10.34, which is in second reader. And hello, Ms. Hoffman, nice to see you this evening.
Good evening, President Jackson, board members. There was no comment, so at this time I ask that this policy be moved to second reader.
Does anybody have any comments or questions on this? It will automatically move to second reader. We don't have to vote, correct? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Moving right along, we have extracurricular school activities policy 9.12 with Mrs. Spurrier. Deb.
Good evening, board members, President Jackson, Dr. Kutakayu. At this time, I'm asking that extracurricular school activities policy 9.12 be moved to third reader. There have been no comments.
Any questions for Mrs. Spurrier this evening? Okay. And that is automatically moving to third reader as well. But please stay there as you see on the screen. Next up is the communicable diseases policy 10.25.
And again, no comments have been made on this policy, so I'd ask that that be moved to third reader as well, please.
Any questions?
Can I just ask, is the AR as we previously discussed on that?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm trying to keep track of what we talked about in policy committee, but yes. Okay, great.
And just to reiterate, all of these policies have been previously reviewed by our policy committee before they even made it to our meetings, so they have been through lots of discussion by community members and staff, and just lots of eyes have already been on it.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, next up we have our McKinney-Vento homeless students identification, enrollment, services, support, and dispute resolution policy, which is the second reader.
Yes, and there's been no comment on this policy either, so I'd ask that that be moved to third reader.
Anybody have any questions this evening? Okay, thank you very much. And then last on the policy list is our student attendance policy 10.2, which is also in third reader.
And that has had no comments as well, so at this time I'd ask to move this to policy.
I have a question about the ARs. And I read this last month, so please forgive me if this is a silly question. I know that parents can get some pretty frightening letters about student attendance. What is the policy or the AR around parental notification that your student is missing too much school and or needs to need to have a discussion with somebody at the board office, or what happens?
So if you look at the AR, we've moved to a tiered intervention approach. So there's a tier 1 approach, a tier 2, and then a tier 3 intervention. It's not, the timeline exactly is not outlined in the policy or in the AR because, for instance, we're going to be meeting with the board in October, and we may need to tweak that, depending on the guidance we get from them. So rather than bring that back, there's internal timelines that we work with that are not outlined specifically in the AR, but it does outline the tiered interventions.
And with Blueprint moving towards having universal pre-K and therefore our students attending who are age 4, is that, should we be considering a change in policy to require students who are 4 to attend school, or, because I know it's 5, where do we kind of fall in that question?
Right, so compulsory attendance in the state of Maryland is 5 to 18. It was 16, and over the years ago, it gradually moved up, so it's 18 now. We can't require pre-K, but we do intervene with students who are not attending in pre-K because we know that patterns and routines are set up with students as early as pre-K. So if we've got a student in pre-K who's not attending, well, we can't exercise the court process for them or anything, nor would we want to. But we do intervene in terms of sending letters, talking to parents, doing some interventions to the extent that we're able so that we can get them on the right track for when they are required to come, which is the next year.
Okay, anybody else, questions? I make a motion that we approve the student attendance policy 10.2 as presented this evening and move it to policy.
I make a motion that we move student attendance policy 10.2 from third reader to policy.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. We have a short agenda this evening, and we are all the way up to our personnel report with Dr. Horsey.
I ask that the personnel report submitted in closed session be approved.
I make a motion that the personnel report submitted during closed session be approved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. And next up, we have our monthly budget report with Mrs. Jones.
Good evening. As you can see, we are going to be ending the year with our revenues roughly in line with our budgeted revenues. Our local unrestricted revenues are rolling way ahead of budget because of favorable interest income. Our state unrestricted revenues will be under budget because we did not have the reimbursement for non-public placements that we had anticipated, but we also did not have the associated cost. So we had a savings in special education expense in the lower half of the sheet. And our fund balance reappropriated is showing a negative $444,000. That just means we did not need to use our fund balance to balance our budget. So that's actually a positive thing. In terms of all of our categories, after our request to make some category transfers at our June meeting, which were subsequently approved by the county council, we are well within all of our budgets for those categories. This is it says draft up here. I think these numbers will change a bit as we continue to get bills in through the end of the year, continue to close out grants and do our final things we do to clean things up and get ready for our audit. But I don't anticipate that bottom line number of $1.1 million surplus changing much. So that would be what we would be adding to last year's fund balance, which was around 6.5 million, I believe. So that would get us to around 7.6 million once we get through the audit. What I will ask you is, this is the one-page summary. You have a more detailed version of these for each of the expenditure categories. And when you get down to transportation, operational plant, maintenance of plant, and fixed charges, you'll notice that although we are in line overall, there are, maybe a line that's over budget, and savings and under budget. For example, transportation is operating with a $587 margin, so we're slightly overspent in one line item, and then slightly underspent in another to net to that 587. And what I would like to do, we haven't done in the past, but I think it's what is called for, I think is what I should have been doing. I probably will come to the August meeting and just ask within that category to tweak a few things, so that we don't show being over budget in any particular line item, if that makes sense. So I will do that in August, and that does not need to go to the county council, that's just a FYI into that. And that's my report.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jones. Does anybody have any budget related or expenditure questions or anything? No? Okay. Next up, we have our superintendent's report with Dr. B.
So good evening. This is the AR that you were just previously talking about in relation to the student attendance policy. And so in your spiral down book, you have the pages that are the tiered steps that would take place for what would happen depending on the number of absences. So that's outlined there. I wanted to share that.
All the ARs are found on the website as well, correct?
And since we're on here, we will be doing the work of a policy change from our 3 readings to 2 readings, but that will go through iteration again with our policy committee that we have. And we've had some really good dialogue and discussion with the members of that committee who bring up some things sometimes us in the system we don't think about. So it's really good. We've had a lot of great discussion and have come up with new things just from having that committee. So I want to thank everybody who took part of that. And we'll be ramping up again. So we have summer programming. So when school let out, it's not quiet around here. So a lot of summer schooling taking place, summer programming, and so I want to thank all of the people that work with our students in the summer. I actually got a shot of our tech crew there that do a lot of getting ready for the next school year. With tagging and coding, putting stickers on, just boxes, you can see stacks of boxes of devices. So just wanted to recognize those that are still working through the summer. Our leadership retreat is this week. We started Monday. Our new theme going into the new year is transforming and performing together. And so this week has been about learning leaders. And we're learning a lot of things, learning about ourselves as leaders, how we show up, learning about those we lead, and learning about what impact we're having on students. And so today there was school improvement work being done. Tomorrow they'll be doing work around math, special education, the blueprint, and English as a second language instruction. So a lot has been taking place this week with our building and district leaders. Upcoming events, you can see we are here having a board retreat coming up, but then you can see new teachers will be here before you know it. New teachers, and then our second and third year teachers, and then all of our staff will be back, and we'll be back in the auditorium having our annual opening day celebration. We have an exciting groundbreaking ceremony coming up next month for our Chapel District Elementary School. And then the first day of school will be here on August 26th. I'm looking to make sure. I wanted to mention the work we've been doing with Everside Now Marathon is currently in the process of being contract review with an attorney. So that is still moving forward. I just wanted to let you know that. And apologies for we're undergoing, getting some new streaming services and new and improved streaming 2.0. So bear with us this month and most likely next month as we get everything in place for that to take place in September. So I just wanted to let you know that. So a lot of new staff changes. We have with us this evening Mrs. Sarah Clackett, who is a 2004 Easton High graduate. She is our new social media, let me make sure I get this right, digital media specialist.
Correct.
Digital media specialist. So we'd like to welcome her. She will be with us and capturing lots of pictures moving forward. I believe that is it for my report.
I think we have broken the record thus far, so fantastic. Good work, everybody. We are at the board member remarks section of the meeting, and I will start with Mrs. Talbot.
Again, thank you for everyone that came out and everyone that is here. And we'd like to thank Mrs. Brundage for everything that she has put together for us tonight for her first board meeting. Excellent job. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for the summer programming that you put on. My daughter's been participating in the Math Boost program, so I really appreciate that hard work and all the other programs that you put together for the students this summer.
Ms. Dodson.
I would just like to welcome all of our new staff in the room, maybe not new staff, but newly promoted staff. And also I know that we're working on hiring a lot of staff for the upcoming school year, so whether or not they're watching, I'd like to welcome them all to the district as well.
Ms. Wheeler.
It's so early in the evening, I don't know what to say. This has never happened as long as I've been on the board. I'm gonna get home before it gets dark. And I too want to welcome the new people, new to just helping us or new to TCPS. We're gonna see a lot of new faces and we're looking forward to that. And it seems like summer is already gone, we're already talking about next school year. So just everyone enjoy what's left of the summer and we'll see you next month.
I would just like to say that there's a lot of summer left, so don't rush it. My kids still need to sleep in a lot. I too would like to say welcome to all of our new faces in the room and anybody watching. And I'd like to shout out a new face making a splash at Easton Middle School. They're having band camp this week, which has been remarkable and really an exciting program for our already award-winning band. And just, I love seeing new people try new things. And just knock it out of the park. So that is great. Thank you to everybody participating in summer programming, all the way from staff leading to parents who are getting their kids out the door bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. And I hope everybody has a fantastic long what's left of summer. And we will see you all in August at our next meeting. So with that said, would somebody like to request an adjournment?
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No one's opposed, correct?
Correct.
All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.